welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you 3 powerful realizations that really changed my life. And these are going to be beliefs that if we change these beliefs, if we reframe them, they have the ability to really change the way we view the world, the way that we view ourselves. Then our external reality can begin to change in proportion to the change that we make within ourselves. Now, the first one I want to share with you is this belief in believing that we are a result of our past. Now, understand that the reason that we identify so much with our past is because we can give so much emphasis to the idea of memory. Now, one of the strongest human desires there is to remain consistent to the way we define ourselves. So if there is something that happens in our so-called past, we will then identify with that emotion, with that label, and from that point going forward, we will have a strong inclination to keep that going forward. But if we become aware that we do not have to be a victim of past experience, we can then simply realize that we are not a result of our past. We are who we choose to be in the present moment. Now realize, at the fundamental level, the only real thing that exists is this moment right now. When it was the past, it was the now moment, and when it will become the future, it will still be this now moment. We can only remember the past from memory. We can only imagine the future using our brain. So the idea is that through imagination, through memory, those are ideas, but the only real experiential type thing that we can experience is the now moment. So with that being said, you are who you choose to be in the present moment, and when you start to really understand this, you can simply decide that you don't have to keep buying into the story that you've told yourself. You don't have to think that those things that happened in the past are who you are today. Realize that everything is always changing. Even as you listen to me right now, the cells in your body are moving, the way that you're thinking about is beginning to change, and those things are showing you that you are who you choose to be in the present moment. Now, the second belief that I had was believing that things that happen in the world was just the way that it was. Now, once I became aware of the idea that my beliefs are creating the kind of experiences I'm having, this was something that profoundly changed my life. Now, a quick example of that, I believed growing up, because when I went to a doctor, they told me that I had ADHD. I took Adderall growing up for many years, but once I started meditating, and I wanted to learn meditation because the side effects of Adderall are you don't eat and sleep very much, so went online and found other alternatives to it. One of them was the research of meditation. And when I began to do that, I started to go within, learn more of these ideas I'm sharing with you now, but I became aware of the idea that because I believed I had ADHD, I then thought that I needed Adderall in order to substitute that. But I realized that my attachment to that label, my belief in that, was the one thing that was almost creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what I chose to do was to start to view myself in a new way. I started to become aware of all the beliefs that I had that were shaping my kind of experiences, believing that people treated me a certain way, or that I was only worthy of certain things in my life. As I became aware of these things, I was able to really let them go. I was able to infuse it with the first tool of realizing I'm not the result of my past, and those things in tandem with each other made such a profound difference. So become aware of what you believe to be true. As you become more aware of those definitions that you have, you bring them from the unconscious or subconscious into the conscious, and you can then decide who you prefer to be. Now, the third belief, or the third realization that I had that really changed the way that I saw the world, was understanding more about my self-image. Now, the self-image that I have, I realized that more so important than the way other people viewed me was the way that I viewed myself. So what I realized is that it's not so much about me going out there and changing other people's perception of me. You know, we're always worried, what do other people think about me? And in order for me to really let that go, I began to understand more about how to develop a relationship with myself. As I began to look at my own self-image, as I started to appreciate the different characteristics of myself, I then began to have a different feeling about who I am, and I realized that the more I embodied that, the more other people began to vibe with it in a new way. Almost like the more that I accepted myself, the more other people began to accept me. And that's simply because my energy state was changing. I did not need people outside of me to validate me. And because of that, it's almost like people can feel that and people end up validating more anyways. So these three things are things that profoundly changed my experience of what I experience day to day. Realize that more powerful than the things that you want is who you become in the process, and you can become who you want to be by letting go of beliefs that no longer serve you. Realize that you are who you prefer to be in the present moment, and that as you change the way you view yourself, as you get deeper into the core of who you are and you start to accept yourself, you will see the reflection in your life of that. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste. All right, bye.